So the 2024 Brickyard 400 is finally in the books after not having a Brickyard 400 since 2020. And it's been a very hot topic of a race, let's just say. So before I get into that topic, I want to talk about the rest of the weekend. Obviously, I did not get to see the 2024 Pennzoil 250, the Xfinity race at the Brickyard Oval. I didn't get to see that race because I had work. And like I mentioned on my Expectations Brickyard 400 video, obviously I had a problem with restrictor plates being added for that race and also Michigan. So from what I heard, I heard the race is good. It was fine and all that. But the finish, mwah, chef's kiss. The final last, mwah, the way Riley Herbst saved it but still won the race, mwah, chef's kiss. Obviously, that was the best part of the race. But either way, restrictor plates should not be added for tracks outside of Daytona and Talladega. Like, we should not implement more big tracks with restrictor plates. Unfortunately, that's the case for Michigan. Complaints aside about the restrictor plate races, I'm glad to hear positive feedback about it, even though restrictor plates had to make it good. Like, forcing good racing, that's honestly stupid. But either way, hey, at least the finish was good. Stewart Racing's Xfinity team won 2 in a row under final year, so that's cool. And now, on to the 2024 Brickyard 400. Honestly, I didn't get to see, mainly the opening laps of the race. I saw it here and there because I was watching the INDYCAR race at Toronto on my PS4 because I was on Peacock. So I had to switch input to my TV from my PS4 to my TV to watch the race here and there. And I got to see some of it during the red flag from Santino's Ferrucci's crash and the big one and all that. You can thank the INDYCAR officiating for letting the big one happen. They should have threw the yellow out earlier after Impato and Marcus Wright, but whatever. INDYCAR 2024. But yeah, during the red flag, I still did get to see some part of it. But then after the IndyCar Toronto race finished, I got to see the rest of the Brickyard 400. And I'm going to be honest, this is one of the better Brickyard 400s in a while, in my honest opinion. And God knows how long. I think probably 2018 maybe. I'm not sure. Although the racing was not out of its world or the greatest thing ever. But in my opinion, it's been one of the better ones. These drivers actually drove they actually drive the car because it's not as aerodynamic compared to the Gen 5s and Gen 6 at Indy. Obviously, the racing is still not the best. Some lackluster moments, hard to pass and all that. But I feel like not only the restarts, but even during the long green flag runs, some drivers did pass. They had a chance to pass, mainly on the corners, in my opinion, which I honestly felt like that was different because the Gen 7s is more of a driver's hands of a car, not as aerodynamic. I saw some very exciting moves at that race, in my opinion. I feel like they were more racy than the Gen 6 cars and even the Gen 5s, in my honest opinion, but that's just me. But then here we get to the final laps. We were going to get another exciting, intense, nail-biting final laps of the race. Brad Keselowski, Ryan Blakey, Kyle Larson, 3 drivers going at it for the win. Brad Keselowski short on fuel. Ryan Blaney not as short on fuel. Kyle Larson plenty of fuel. But unfortunately, Kyle Busch's 2024 season continues and Busch wrecked while sending it to Hamlin, which unfortunately made the race go Green-White-Checkered. And obviously, you guys know how I feel about that and why it's very problematic. So the first attempt happened, and there was a big wreck in turn 1 because, of course, also because cars ran out of fuel nobody could avoid. Blah, blah, blah. You know, typical Green-White-Checkered BS. Thankfully, everybody was okay from that crash because, holy crap, the wall broke when John Hunter and other drivers hit the inside wall. The wall broke, Jesus Christ. But then, because of Green-White-Checkered, the red flags, because of Green-White-Checkered, the race had to go to USA because, 6 o'clock nightly news. And NBC made them go to USA once again. Again, this is one of the reasons why Green-White-Checkered is terrible. But anyway, so here we get to the juicy stuff. Or in this case, the milky stuff. Well, this ain't the Indy 500, but anyway. So second attempt, restart. Everything was fine. Larson ran away with it. Blaney second, Reddick third, or the other way around, I think. And then Ryan Preece spun after Chase Elliott hit him. Apparently, Preece ran out of fuel. And yeah, this is where everybody in NASCAR land, well, almost everybody in NASCAR land lost their mind. So let's get to that topic. So, yeah, everybody knows NASCAR's officiating is terrible. I mean, what isn't terrible in NASCAR nowadays, am I right? So, a lot of people got upset because NASCAR let the drivers race to the white flag and then the caution came out. And then Kyle Larson won the 2024 Brickyard 400. And I'm going to be completely honest, and this is going to be a hot take. I honestly did not have an issue the way the 2024 Brickyard 400 ended. Hear me out, hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. So the only reason why I say I had no issue the way it ended because, I mean, come on, we were on our second attempt at a Green-White-Checkered. We don't need more attempts. Do you really want to see cars crashing and a race being way longer than it had to be? Like, really? Is this what NASCAR fans want nowadays? Is this what NASCAR wants? Is this what NASCAR wants to make fans think this is awesome? No. Like, I'm going to be real. I was in relief that the race ended not as long as it did during the Green-White-Checkers. It was a relief in my honest opinion. It was a big relief because I didn't want to deal with more attempts because Nashville, holy crap, Nashville was terrible with 5 attempts. 5 attempts at a Green-White-Checkered. And apparently people were fine with that. A lot of people were not mad about the race finishing after 5 attempts because, hey, as long as we were under green, that's fine. But when it comes to, like, a race ending under caution, people were mad. But here's the thing. I know. Everybody talks about, oh, Kyle Larson shouldn't have been the control car. Ryan Blakey should have been the control car. Okay, so honestly, I feel like if Keselowski ran out of fuel, either A, I think NASCAR should have just hold off the restart, give it another one to go or something like that. Or B, I guess keep it the way it is. I really don't know about that part of that controversy. I can understand more people being mad about that part. But honestly, the way it ended, why are you guys mad about that? Because NASCAR has an obsession with demolition derby style manufactured excitement just to please the wrong crowd, the people who want to see crashes and all that, not natural racing. You're not going to get green flag finishes always. That's just how it is in racing in general. That's just the way it is. And like I said in my Green-White-Checkered video, I said even on Green-White-Checkered, you're still going to get races under yellow. You know, the system that's supposed to make the race end under green and all that. Even with the Green-White-Checkered, you're still going to get races end under yellow. I was more relieved that the race ended not as long as it did. I think y'all should be happy that the race didn't end a lot longer than it did. But unfortunately, people want to see green flag finishes, even when it cost a bunch of cars being out of the race with crashes and all that in 5 attempts. Like, that's what the people want to see as long as the green flag happened and finished under green. Oh, God, it's just a shame that NASCAR's all for Demolition Derby, WWE, and Ball Sports on Wheels. And too bad the officiation still does suck. I'll admit, yeah, the officiation does still suck. I can understand more people being upset about the Blaney and Larson thing, about who should have been the control car. I can understand that. But I'm kind of happy with the way it ended because the race didn't last as long. Y'all should be grateful about that because as a pure motorsports fanatic, I just want to see the best races possible with no BS, just natural good racing. And I didn't mind ending it under yellow because there'll be no more problems, no more attempts, no more cars crashing out. But apparently that's what people want to see. In conclusion, I'm not defending NASCAR by any means. I know it sounds like it. It's just more of a relief that the race ended not as long as it did. So, yeah. Either way, I'm just glad that the Brickyard 400 finally returned for the first time in 4 years. NASCAR should be on the oval when it comes to, like, Indy, if they're going to do one Indy race. Other than that, one of the better Brickyard 400s is my opinion. And I'm just saying, NASCAR, if you don't want any more controversies, if you don't want to deal with any more bullshit, just get rid of the gimmicks that hurt NASCAR. Just get rid of the things that hurt NASCAR after 20 years. If y'all don't really want to deal with bullshit backlash, maybe be a pure racing series again. Another thing, one more thing before I end this video. It's pretty hysterical to see people say this race was rigged because Hendrick 40th anniversary and something because Larson missed the 600 with that livery. Really? Let's go back to 2023 Pocono. Ryan Preece spun with 2 laps to go? And guess what? They waited until they go white and then throw out the caution. Thankfully, no green-white-checker at that one. That's why I prefer that call better because there were no green-white-checkers. But speaking of rigged, by that logic, basically NASCAR rigged Denny Hamlin a Pocono win last year. It gives me that vibe. If you're going to talk about Larson's 400 win was rigged. Yeah, whatever. I don't expect a lot of people in NASCAR being all smart and all that. Whether it's the administrations, the industry people, whether it's the fan base. I don't expect a lot of people in NASCAR to be smart. So, it's fine. Whatever. But other than that, One of the better Brickyard 400 weekends, in my opinion. Looking forward to the future of the Brickyard 400. Thank you, PPG, for sponsoring the Brickyard 400 for the next 5 years. Well, now 4 years. Really hope we can keep going from here on out as long as possible without going to the road course. I enjoyed it. Obviously, could have been better. But still, for what it was, I enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video. This is Ian the Motorsports Man signing off. Goodbye, everybody.